Did you watch the Fast and the Furious?
I did.
Oh my God, was that crazy?
I've actually owned most of them, and it's just, I love them because they're so stupid. Like watching them as a car guy, you're just like, do people really think this is a thing? Yeah. Oh my gosh, he hit his nitrous and his floorboard fell out. That is so cool. Wait, I don't get the physics. How does this happen?
Okay. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You sure?
Yeah, let's go.
Feel good? Mm-hmm. Okay. Welcome back to the Maikon Show, the coolest show in the whole wide world. Today we're lit. We're in UVU, you know. They've been nice enough to give us a space for us to have a fun time, you know, and vibe. Today with me, I have an amazing person, super dope, very intelligent when it comes to the social media world, Steven, a.k.a. A-Dog! Where you from, Steven?
So I'm originally from California, but I grew up most of my life here in Utah, but I've also lived all over the country.
How were you as a kid?
I was an idiot.
Like all of us?
Since I was in California, you know, flip-flops every day. I'm riding four-wheelers and flip-flops.
Yeah. Were you close to the beach?
No, we weren't.
Okay,
we were more inland, but we did go to the lake a lot. My uncles had a boat, and so we would go out and we'd play on that. But yeah, mostly, you know, can't tell you we had a big pile of wood, stepped on rusty nails all the time, like at least once or twice a week. And of course, it wasn't until like 20 years later that I had my first tetanus shot.
Damn. Was it mostly like was it kind of like a farm?
It kind of was. So we actually had a dairy farm on one side and then just a cow farm on the other side of us.
Damn.
And then we didn't do any farm. My dad built wood burning stoves. He was a machinist, so ours was just open land. But like, everyone around us was farmers. And like,
oh, okay. What age did you leave California?
So I was about, I think, 13 or 14 when we left.
The whole family?
Yeah, our whole family just came out here to Utah. My dad, because of the lifestyle that he was working, like being around metals and stuff like that his whole entire life. Yeah. He was a welder, all that kind of stuff. He just found out of doing lots of damage to his body. So he's like, hey, let's go back to school. He was about, I think, 45, 46 at the time. Decided to go back to school, become a psychologist. Let's go to BYU.
BYU?
Yeah.
Wow, bro. How was that? Coming from California, were you a Mormon?
Yes. I thought of it as a cool adventure, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'd never seen snow, so I'm like, I'm going to go. Well, I'd seen snow once. We went to visit my uncle in Colorado. And, you know, you get to spend like 5 minutes and it's like, it's amazing. So we're coming out here. I'm like, I get to play with snow all the time. Yay, it's going to be so great.
Living there, though?
I can't stand snow right now. I'm like, fuck this. I want out.
What school did you go to? Because if your dad went to BYU, you probably went to Provo High?
I went to Timpview.
Oh, Timpview.
Yep.
Damn. Okay.
I was one of the poor kids down by Provo High. Like, we literally had to drive past Provo High to get to Timpview. It's like, hey, I could go to school there. No, I'm going to go over here. I could walk to this school, but I'm going to drive up to this one.
I went to Provo High, so I get it. My girlfriend went to Timpview.
Okay.
You guys were the cool ones.
I was not the cool one in the cool kids.
Yeah. So how was high school then?
I mean, it was good, you know. I didn't think much of it. Just
was it all a blur?
A little bit, like high school was really easy.
I feel like it is. Mm-hmm. But I didn't care about high school. But I feel like if I did care, it would have been super easy.
See, I think my problem was I didn't care because it was so easy.
Oh, damn.
You know, I graduated without even really going to school.
Really?
Yeah, like my senior year, I went like half the time. I always took things as a challenge. Like I remember my senior year. It's one of my favorite stories. We had to do the senior portfolio. And the teacher's like, okay, this is going to be doing like 4 months. You need to start it right now. If you don't start right now, you're not going to get a good grade on it. Yeah. Try me. Did mine the night before. Is when I started it. The night before was due. Turned it in. I got -2.
Oh my God, dude. Like, that's fucking... Did you always wanted to be involved in social media? Well, there wasn't even social media back then.
About that. Actually, I wanted to be a mechanic.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I loved cars. I started driving when I was about 12.
In the farm? Right?
No, like my brother left me in the car in the parking lot.
Shit.
I've been watching it. I can figure this out. I just kind of started driving around and I started liking cars. Then in high school, the one class I actually went to was auto shop. Started building it. Then I got into racing. I love building cars. I love taking something and just making it better. I can't even look at a car to want to buy now without thinking of how can I make it better? What can I do to this? What am I going to do? Like I'm trying to buy a Corvette C8 next summer.
Damn.
And I'm like, okay, I've already found a twin turbo kit for it. I've already found new rim.
You already got everything
I haven't bought
ready.
the car, but I know exactly what I'm going to do to it.
Did you watch the Fast and the Furious?
I did.
Oh my God, was that crazy?
I've actually owned most of them, and it's just, I love them because they're so stupid. Like watching them as a car guy, you're just like, do people really think this is a thing? Yeah. Oh my gosh, he hit his nitrous and his floorboard fell out. That is so cool. Wait, I don't get the physics. How does this happen?
It's crazy because I always wanted to know about cars. Because when I was a little kid, I used to like those little toy cars.
Oh, yeah.
You know those that came like in a bunch of little cars?
Yeah,
You remember
absolutely.
that?
Yeah.
Bro, I used to love it. I always wanted to get a set because I love the cars, little cars. But I never got into like big cars because I didn't drive till I was like, what? 19, yeah, or 20, bro. It was bad. Like I didn't drive till I was 20, so I was super scared going in the freeway. Everything was really scary. Now it's like every time I get in a car, I'm like living my childhood dream because I always wanted to drive one, but I never got the chance to. Hey, dog, how did the whole experience start with Dava?
It's actually a really funny story. Again,
I'm excited.
So actually, I'd moved out to Missouri for a couple years just because I got offered what was my dream job. Because my number one love now, boats and water. Like I love being on the water. I love it.
They're gonna say boats and hoes.
I just didn't know if I was okay to say that.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Boats and hoes. One of the best rap videos ever. But yeah, so I got offered to run a marina out in Missouri. So a company I had helped build previously was investing into a marina out in Missouri. I'm like, okay, cool. I get a boats and hoes all day, right? I got out there, moved out there. 2 weeks after I moved out, I get a call and said, hey, the other party backed out.
Really?
Yeah, we're not buying the marina. I was like, fuck me. Shit happens.
Yeah.
I'd kind of invested everything I had to move out there. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of a cool new situation.
Yeah.
Like I'm out here, let's give it a shot. It's out there for a couple of years. I mean, I worked for a motorcycle dealership, sold some bikes. Things weren't working out well. I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
I was doing okay money wise. I was doing all right, but I just wasn't happy. I'm like, okay, screw this. I'm going to go back to Utah. Family's there. Let's see what happens. So I moved back to Utah and I picked up a job, and this is a little embarrassing for me to say. I found the first sales job I couldn't actually sell.
Oh, fuck. Damn. Hey,
Talk
dog.
about depression. And it was funny because everyone's like, oh, it's just so easy to sell. I'm like, I didn't fully understand what I was even selling. So I wasn't good at it. I wasn't committed to it.
To sell something, you got to like it.
You have to be committed. And so I was looking, this company pops up looking for salespeople.
Yeah.
You know, they're saying you can make $80K to $200K a year. I'm like, cool.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. I'll try it. I look up the company because anytime I interview, I look up the company. I get called for an interview. I walk in and nobody greets me. Like nothing happens. I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on. And finally, this kid comes out, probably the cockiest kid of everything. He's kind of one of those guys that you would want to hang out with, just because you never know what's going to come out of his mouth, like what he's going to do. Like he's just fun to be on that way. But you know, he starts interviewing me and he just starts talking about like all these big things they do and like how amazing and everything. I'm like, am I getting interviewed or sold? I'm confused at what's going on here.
I'm a salesman, bro.
Yeah, he's just like, oh man, he's like, yeah, you could just sit at your computer all day and take hot leads and you'll make 80K easy. But if you really want to work, you can make 200K.
How does he talk?
A little bit. He's like, you could totally like kind of bro, like, you should totally talk, man. Like, oh my gosh, and we work with some of the biggest creators out there. He's like, have you heard of Mr. Beast? Nah, I haven't actually. Who's Mr. Beast? He's like, Ryan Higa, you got to know Ryan Higa, man. I'm like, who's Ryan Higa? He's like,
I just want to sell, man.
I'm like, look, I'll be straight honest with you. I use YouTube to figure out how to change an alternator on a car. This just shows how far I've come in the social media world. And like, he just kept on. I'm like, cool. And like, so he didn't really ask me even much. He's like, so when you sell, what do you do? I'm like, well, I've always been the top salesman, and just kind of give that. But then he would just go back and just pitch me on how amazing this company is, which it is an amazing company. So he wasn't wrong. But I'm like, and so at the end of the interview, I'm like, so did I get the job? Am I I have no clue what's going on.
I just know that I just made a homie.
Yeah. And he's like, so could you start Monday?
Oh shit.
I'm like, well, I'm working this other job and I have to put in my 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I can wait that long, man. I don't know if I can wait that long. I've got like 17 people ready to hire on. I'm like, I'm sorry. I guess I'm old school. I have to put in my 2 weeks. He's like, I said, tell you what, like, I have Tuesdays and Thursdays off. I can come in those to do training. I'm like, I can come in before and I'll come in after to learn some things. I'm like, you're a salesman, so right, you're committed.
Exactly.
Obviously, he was so committed. I'm like, I'll do that. He's like, oh, I don't know if I can make that work. Let me see if I can pull some strings. And total sales.
I've been through this, man. I've been through this, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, cool, whatever. Like, I'm not that stressed. I got a job. I think it was Friday that I was interviewed, and then Sunday night I get a call. Hey, do you think you're willing to do like we said, come in this? That I'm like, yeah, like I told you I was like, and he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go out on a limb for you. I'm like, cool, whatever. Then I went into my other job and said, hey, just so you know, I found this other job. They're like, oh, okay, we understand. I'm like, to be honest, you don't need to stay the full 2 weeks. Like, we'll be okay. I'm like, okay, cool.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, like, I mean,
that was nice.
But at least I had to give them the option. Like, I'm not just gonna say I walked out of it.
Plus, you don't want to leave from some place in a bad note.
Exactly.
You should always be leaving a good note because you never know.
You never know. Something could come back. I may need that company for something else. I don't know.
Exactly.
So yeah, I went in and 3 people were supposed to be in my training class. One showed up, left halfway through the day. The other one never showed up. Sitting there, I'm like,
fuck.
I'm kind of questioning things. Sitting in my corner, I'm like, all 17 of us here? Okay, cool. Because he had also told me, he's like, I need people who want to build, like, because I'm going to have 20 people under you. So I need sales managers. I'm like, well, I've done sales management. I'm like, cool. So then he's like talking to all this sales thing. I'm like, okay, cool. Everything you're talking about, I know. When I started with Dava, again, our sales team's come a long way from this. Yeah. And not that it was bad then, but it was all about Jordan Belford. Oh, Wolf of Wall Street. Everyone knows him from Wolf of Wall Street. And he's like, yeah, he has the best way of selling. I'm like, they all say the same shit. Like there's no difference in what they're doing. It's building value relationships. Yeah. Again, all the information's great. Just use it to your thing. So
exactly.
Yeah, it was that. And so, yeah, I came in and of course I am who I am. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to be the best. So I started learning about social media. I started interviewing. I'm like, okay, why don't we do this? And I started telling the guy, I'm like, so, your sales team would run smoother if you added these things in. And he's like, don't you think you should work here more than a couple days before you start telling me how to do my job?
Damn.
I said, don't you think you should learn how to do your job before you do it? Yeah. I'm not good at backing down. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to impose. I have knowledge. Yeah. Why would you not accept my knowledge? But yeah, it was just funny. I came to find out later that after my interview, he went to the owners, David and Vale. He's like, well, I got this guy, but he says he has to put in his 2 weeks. So I just don't think it's going to work. I looked at him and they said, dude, you can't not hire somebody because they want to put in 2 weeks. Yeah. He's like, we would want someone to put 2 weeks here. Why would you punish him? Because
it means loyalty.
Yeah, he's doing what we would want.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, well, I guess. That, which pays off for David and Vale because they got me. Which poor Jonah doesn't work there anymore.
Dude, life goes on. Yeah. Bro, business is survival of the fittest. Nobody should feel bad about anybody. No. That's how it go. Where's A-Dog going to be in 10 years?
Miami.
Woo! Retire. You don't want to do anything.
I don't think I'm ever going to really retire.
Yeah, I like that shit.
I actually love helping creators.
I feel like retiring will be the scariest thing ever. You just there. I give anybody 5 days to just sit in the beach, and you're going to get pissed.
So bored,
bro.
Oh my gosh, I'm always going to need something, so I'm always going to be part of Dava.
Yeah.
In some aspect or another, I love the beach. I love the feel of Florida and Miami. Yeah. I love the atmosphere there, and I love water. So, no, but I just want to keep building. Like, honestly, my goal is I want to try and combine like a Grant Cardone and a Gary Vee. Grant is very like go business, sell, and Gary Vee's love everybody, like
empathy,
kindness, soft skills, and both are needed. Yeah. I love helping people grow. My success really comes from the people around me. If I can help other people grow, I'm good. It doesn't matter to me anymore because if I don't have good people around me, you're done. Why am I going to grow by myself? I've always loved the comment of if you want to grow fast, do it alone. If you want to grow far, do it as a team. Yeah. Got to have a good community, good people around you, and seeing people's success. Like,
exactly, bro. Hey, dog, thank you for fucking coming through. For real.
Of course. Anytime, man.
That's love, man. Thank you, really. What do you got to tell the people? Where can they find you?
You can find me at Stephen Bass Media on Instagram, Dava. Look at Dava Marketing. My face is on the About page. Just hit up us up at Dava. If If you have any content ideas, you want to learn how to be a creator, you have any questions, hit me up on Instagram. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that people have. I want people to be successful. If you have any just curiosities about the industry, let me know. If you just want to get in and come work for us, let me know. I can make it happen. So
if you want to be like, hey dog, come work at Dava.
Come work at Dava. We're going to teach you how to be successful. I mean, whether you end up being successful again is on you, but I will give you every tool possible to succeed in life.
Yeah, guys, follow him. He has so much knowledge. He's a fucking Jedi. Thank you for coming back to the Maikon Show. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're right here with us.
This is the best place to be, right
here.
here.
Sir. Hey, dog, Maikon, we're chilling, we're vibing.
Yep.
And wear a condom. You know what I'm saying? Stop raw dogging girls. You know what I'm saying? Stop doing that.
Boats and hoes.
Exactly. And go to sleep early. Be yourself. Love yourself. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, whatever. Peace out.
Peace out.